Hey guys, my name's Crystal Bodine and I'm a Rodan & Fields consultant. I recently read an article in Forbes that talked about how a side hustle could be your best investment yet, and it got me thinking. Unemployment may be low, but stats show wages have barely grown in the last 8 years following the Great Recession. Some experts even say that after accounting for inflation, minimum wage is worth less than 50 years ago. More than half of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings, and the average household owes more than $16,000 on credit card debt. Let me ask you a few questions. What if you could earn more money without switching careers or getting that raise you've been praying for? What if you could give yourself your own raise during your spare time? What if anyone could hatch a plan to build a second, third, fourth stream of income to supplement their full-time work? What if the answer to your financial problems doesn't come from your boss, but from you? What if your best investment is a side hustle? I read an article in Forbes recently about a case study where these concepts were researched. What it revealed was nearly anyone can take an idea and make it profitable if they were thoughtful, strategic, and realistic enough. Now, I've always been attracted to the idea of being an entrepreneur, but I've been a parent for almost half my life and have always had to steer towards stable and steady positions in my career. What I like about a side hustle is I can earn money without having to quit my day job. A side hustle is more than an extra stream of income. It's job security. When you receive paychecks from different sources, it allows you to take chances in your regular career. More income, more options, more freedom. And the pretty amazing part, you don't need entrepreneurial experience to launch a profitable side business. For some of us, a few $100 extra a month could mean the difference between comfortably living versus just squeaking by, especially if the needs of your life change. Although I had been watching, aka stalking, my friend's Facebook post about Rodan & Fields, I didn't seriously begin considering the business until I started researching the cost of daycare for my little kids last year. My jaw about hit the floor. Over $1,100, and it wasn't even full-time. I have a 7-year age gap between my second and third child, so I haven't needed daycare in a while. Still, I couldn't believe how expensive it was. Although I had a big need, I also had fears about joining Rodan & Fields. So I did what I always do when I need to make a big decision. I researched. I talked to my aunt who's been an esthetician for over 15 years, showed her the product's ingredients list, and asked her what she thought. She was impressed and encouraged me to go for it. I talked to close friends and family, and some of them even said that if I did it, they would buy for me. So I called my friend, told her I wanted to do it, and asked her one question. How do you make money anyway? I knew the products worked well because the Unblemished line had completely cleared my son's skin, and fairly quickly. And the Redefine line and Amp Roller completely balanced out and changed the texture of my skin. I knew the company and the products were developed by respected dermatologists who years previously were successful with their first business venture, Proactiv. Now, unless you're living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard of Proactiv. Proactiv dominated the acne market for over 20 years and is in 118 countries. I also knew there was something to the business model because my friend, who was a labor and delivery nurse by trade, had surpassed her income and also opened a gourmet donut and coffee shop that year. After talking to my friend, I was impressed by the business model. Infinitely wide earning potential, tons of incentives, free trips, and even cars. So despite my fears and the unknown, I signed up and made a promise to myself if I had a fear, instead of shying away from it, I'd take action toward it. And I did. I also did everything my friend told me to do. The cool thing about our company and our team is we help each other. My friend gave me the tools I needed to be successful in the first 30 days of my business. I was coachable and put 15 to 30 minutes consistently a day into my business, and it grew. But I think the real aha moment came for me when I got my first paycheck. Now, my 6-month goal was met in my month 1. It was then that I knew I had something really big. A few other things happened. I pushed past fears. I hosted my first BBL and went live on Facebook. Two things I initially had reservations about. And guess what? I didn't die. A few weeks later, I spoke at a team event in public. While I had experience with some of the products, there were others I wasn't familiar with. Plus, with the majority of my team out of state, I had never been to a team event, so I had nothing to really base it off of. But I got through it, and you know what else? I had a blast. RNF gave me the ability to partner with one of my best friends, but what I didn't realize is it would be the vehicle for so much more. About a week after the event, I was in Las Vegas at convention. I got phenomenal training, saw and heard the doctors speak on stage, got a better grasp on the foundation of the company, and, really understood what it was built on. Power to empower, do good, be innovative, change lives. But even more than that, for the first time, maybe in my life, I found my tribe. Imagine working with like-minded people who weren't in competition with you, helped you reach your personal goals, and applauded your success. I worked at a Fortune 500 company for just under 10 years. And while I had work friends, I had only had one person who genuinely had my back in that ride or die kind of way. Yet I was here with a group of people who literally were strangers 3 months previously that loved me, prayed on me, and actually cared about my well-being. The year leading up to Rodan & Fields was tough. I sunk into major depression and only interacted when required for work or the kids. Then I joined Rodan & Fields, where talking to people was necessary for success. So I did it. The more I talked to others and the more I put myself out there, the better I felt. The fog lifted, I hit goals, built confidence, found my tribe, helped change over 50 people's skin, started building my team to bring additional income into their homes, increased my monthly cash flow as much as 30%, all while improving my family's and my skin and building residual income. Did you know that most millionaires have 7 streams of income? Forbes believes multiple streams, with as many of them residual as possible, is necessary. I didn't understand the power of residual until an unexpected medical event happened in my family. I spent the better part of January sleeping in a chair, in ICU. Each day was touch and go and brought on new challenges and even more unknowns. I was an advocate for my family member and wasn't able to do much of anything, let alone work my business. But you know what happened? I got a paycheck, and it was actually bigger than the previous month. Want to know why? I built my business strong in the first 4 months, and as my customers' skin visibly changed, their friends and family noticed, asked what they were doing, and purchased skincare from me too. When you have products that actually work, a smart business model, and infinitely wide earning potential, the sky's the limit. I honestly don't know what life would look like without Rodan & Fields, but I imagine there'd be less joy, less freedom, and a lot less dreaming. Thank you for listening to my unique RNF journey. Please touch base with the person who invited you to listen. This opportunity is for everyone. I want to leave you with this. Anything of value in life requires grit. You weren't just born to pay bills and die. If it scares you and excites you all at the same time, it may be worth a try.